Now we go down to 2 stories. With these beautiful ladies. Now we're coming to our gorgeous Nkateko. Tell us more about who's Nkateko.
Okay. Yeah, wow. I thought I was rejected. But listening to these 2 powerful women, I am so inspired. And one thing that was coming to my mind was man's rejection provokes God's acceptance of us. Honestly speaking, we wouldn't be sitting like this if not for all the things we've gone through. So, mina Nkateko, Magazi no Magiani, Limpopo. I'm 36 years old. I'm a rape survivor. I'm a recovered drug addict, and I overcame depression. So, when I was 6 years, Gianni back home, on the street with friends. A boy that I knew on the same street calls me. And I'm thinking, okay, he's probably going to give me sweets because Kabana shouts at my sweets. Go to him, takes me to the back room, and he raped me. So what happened from that moment, I lost my innocence in that room. I lost the delicate, soft side to me. That when I started dating later in my teens, I need a blocker from sex, I would be in a relationship but not want to get promiscuous. Because to me, sex was a way of men conquering. And I didn't want to be conquered. And so I needed, in a way, a player, like, heartbreaker. I would get a kick from being with a guy, foreplay. From foreplay, he's got a heart on. That's what's all. And that way I felt powerful, like, I conquered. You're not going to conquer me. And I didn't know it was because I was raped as a child. Because to a great extent, I believe with that, took away the trauma from the rape, that somehow I masked it. And how I masked it was through my personality. I was a loud, bubbly person. But that was a way of me covering up the pain that was on the inside. And because of the rape, I related more to pain than I did to anything. That I had an obsession for the longest time to date a gangster. It felt good to be roughed up, like a gentleman would bore me, like, slow, and I would put it like that. So anyway, fast forward, there I am, my first year in Joburg. I was 17, after my matric. My first boyfriend is a celebrity. I'm modeling at the time. I got into drugs. I was addicted to cocaine, ecstasy, Thai white, weed. I was living a life of a party. In those addictions, I was also addicted to my boyfriend then. I'm thinking, this is the life. Not knowing I'm on a fast lane, on a highway to destruction, to nowhere. I was gliding so fast, I didn't even realize that I'm gliding. And I'm going to fall so hard. So during that year, I ended at university, squatting. Girls looked up to me, she's got a celebrity boyfriend, that's always coming to pick her up. So one day, this friend of my boyfriend, I go, why don't you come with a few of your friends for a house party? So they am I picking the beautiful girls, from Laya, So long story short, from those girls that I got, me and one girl got very close from that day. Only to learn later, that's a story for another day, that, this girl was on assignment to kill me. But thank God she didn't succeed. She confessed later that she told me every bad thing that happened to you, it was me behind it. You were meant to be sacrificed. Thank God I'm here to tell the story today. So after the whole episode, because I was involved in a fatal car accident December 2003, coming out of the car, my head was swollen. Dr. Langancheka, Dr. Dombo was like, Ban laban gaba check with your head concussion, aba survive, I'm going to survive in Jan. And I was like, honestly,
Were you with your boyfriend?
No, I need a Giyani. I got it Christmas time, so need Giyani that time. And not Chomiamina, Marana, around that time. Since the doctor no go, I need to survive in Jan. We won't look accident to million Jan. No go no. And next thing I see is glass all over me. I was sitting behind the driver. From Kuala Lumpur, when we can spoke again. But no one one banana to Tsuma.
That's what you died.
Rumor went around that I died. So the mistake I made in that is, even though I had a terrible head concussion, continue with the drugs. I mean, cocaine is sniffing, it's going up your head. That imbangi, you know, I become super paranoid, like my parents took me to a psychologist because I was going to go mentally, I'm not okay. I'm like, Yeshingo, I will talk to you about something else. I could feel myself diverting from conversations I would have with people, but I couldn't control it, you know. Psychologist Lang and Bona, I told her to her face, my parents are wasting their time, they're wasting my time, they're wasting their money, they're wasting your time, you cannot help me. Little did I know that what I was actually saying to her is that only God can help me. So that psychologist stood up, I go, this child doesn't believe I can help her, there is nothing I can do. She doesn't believe I can help her. There we are driving back to Limpopo, to Giyani. It's January. I'm supposed to go back, and it's not going to be a large journey for school. My parents reluctantly let me go because I'm not okay. Get her, Anika, I was literally a walking zombie, withdrawal symptoms. I know I'm supposed to stop the drugs, but I cannot bring myself to stop the drugs. People I thought were friends are nowhere to be found. You know, even my so-called boyfriend, nowhere to be found. Okay. This is it. Pick yourself up. You're back at school. Grow up, girl. Luckily for me, got into a church and told her, you know what, I'm coming from a religious background. The only way I can live, the only way I can survive is if I take myself back to God. God involved strongly Akerekeni. That's when I decided, you know what, after 10 months of attending the church, I'm going to become a member of the church. I'm going to stop this life that I'm living. The drugs are not taking me anywhere. I am just distracting myself. And anyway, boyfriend that is supposed to be here with me through all of this is nowhere. So for 13 years after that, I lived and worked in church. So basically, church was my rehab. Church in Joburg, CBD. During those 13 years, twice I almost got married. And the second time, the same person. Second time, I was like, you know what? I cannot get married to you. If I had a son and my son was getting married to a girl like me, I wouldn't be happy. I don't love you. I'm comparing you to an ex I haven't forgotten. It was a struggle. This guy was refusing to let go. I was like, it's not going to work, please. So wedding was called off 2 months before the wedding. I don't think I would have survived being married. I wouldn't have. You know, I'm a sucker for love, so I wouldn't have survived. That's why I say you ladies are strong. So 2015, Nyaka passed. I'm like, Pastor, I'm asking please for permission to go find my ex. I hear he's in prison. I want closure because I'm struggling to move on with my life. I'm not growing younger and I want to settle down. I'm in my 30s now. I want to get married. Pastor said, okay, time will come for you to go. Maraban refused at that time. Maybe he felt I wasn't ready. Anyways, I made means and ways myself. A friend of mine put me up to a challenge. She's like, you know what, true, you're not growing younger. I was a Bible school lecturer at the time. I was a pastor at the church. And she's like, when you are preaching, when you are teaching, I can hear how you relate. You are so real in your sharing of your story, of your life, you know. You're not telling, like you were saying, you're not talking about Daniel in the lion's den. You're talking about you in the lion's den and how God shut the mouth of the lion, literally, for you. So go find this guy. I will help you. I know you might have your fears. Go find this guy, and so that you can have your closure. So June 2015, there we were. I was like, Lord, before that day, like, Lord, please help me. I've got my fear of this guy rejecting me. He's a celebrity, and I'm sure, I know there were a lot of girls that he was dating while he was dating me. What if he doesn't even remember me? It's been so long, 13 years. And I also feared, what if I get there, and so I visited people in prison, so I know, they might have people visiting. So I was like, okay, anyway, it's gotta be done. So please, if your presence does not go with me like Moses prayed, I will not go. Give me a sign that this is something you want me to do. I know I need the closure, but I have got my fears. In as much as I want to do it, I'm scared of doing it. Got my go ahead. Saw it in the dream, the prison he was in. Okay, that's my go ahead, let me go. So I was on a fast for 7 days. The Saturday, which was the 20th of June 2015, was the day of my 7th day, where I'm now going to see him. So we get there, long story short, we find him. He remembered me. That was a relief. Okay, at least he remembers. He still remembers the name Kati. He used to call me Kati, short for Nkateko. So after all these years, you come here and you tell me you're here for closure. Do you think you brought yourself here? He's saying everything I want him to say.
It means it's God.
God brought you here. Okay. Wow. Okay, let's do this then. We exchanged numbers right then and there. For 2 years now, I was visiting him at prison where he was. Every weekend, visiting him. 2016 November, guy goes MIA, missing in action. Okay.
You're out of prison.
Out of prison. On a number. But from time to time I change the number. And then I say like SIM card, go change the number. Something okay, so to change the number, what is going on, you know? Something. Mama Iggy, if I can tell you the money I spent on that guy is not money I've even spent on myself.
That's how loving women are.
Yo, stuff that when I look at, I'm like, I wouldn't even buy that for myself. I'm going to watch it for so much for myself, but for him, I would. That's how much I wanted things to work. And Angela goes, babes, I'm in prison. Coming out of here, definitely, it's me and you. I'm thinking, anyways, we're going to be together. Why not?
So you were willing to wait?
Yes.
Doesn't matter how long it would.
I wouldn't be bothered.
Taking him to be there.
And at that time, as far as we knew, he was there for 20 years. And he had only done 4.
Yeah.
I was prepared to wait.
For 20 years?
Yes.
Wow. On top of the 13 that you've already waited.
Yes. That's how much I loved him. I was prepared.
It's unquestionable, like random. You won't question it.
You won't. You won't. I was prepared.
And you're how old? 30, 31?
31. We were praying together every day over the phone, 8:30. I had told him, babes, every day we pray and we believe God for your release. I would tell him we're fasting. Every Wednesday we are fasting for your release. And God did it. He's forgotten about me. I'm like, okay. So anyway, I had invested so much of me in the relationship because I wanted to settle down. I mean, I've been keeping myself all this time. God had restored my virginity. There's a test I did. This guy that was doing the test was like, are you a virgin? I'm like, if 13 years of being celibate means I'm a virgin, then I guess I am a virgin. You know? I'm thinking, wow, if I'm keeping myself for him, well and good. This is the guy I've loved for the longest time anyway. At that time, it was 15 years of me loving the same person. But 13 years of being apart. So, December 2016, news headlines. And I'm like, look at newspaper. Okay, so he's been quiet for so long. Right, okay.
But what stopped you from visiting after him being quiet?
Okay, that's something a lot of people ask him. I've never been the type to force myself on someone. I'm the type that wouldn't even fight with a woman because you're dating my guy. If there's anybody I'm gonna fight with, is the guy. Guy, you know my numbers. I don't know your numbers. I don't know if you've gone quiet because you don't want me anymore or because I said I can't get you the Snickers you asked me for. Or keep it quiet. After he asked me to buy him Snickers worth 3,000, I'm like, no. Say I had enough of spending money on this guy. So me saying no to buying those Jordan sneakers was a problem. Okay. If
What do you do with Jordan in prison?
If you can see the watches they wear, if you can see the shoes they wear, they're in orange but they are dolled up. They smell good. They're wearing the watch them at 6,000.
So it's like home.
Not really. They try and make it home. They try and make it home.
It's like
Yes.
You know,
That's the way.
You belong into some group.
Yes. Yes.
All star. You know.
Yes.
Okay.
So now super public. Okay. And nothing still. I'm not receiving a call. I one number with his head.
And then do you call? Do you try to call?
No.
Hey,
I didn't.
your pride in JEB stood up and let you know.
And I knew where his house is, where like his home is. And there were some of his friends. I thought, you know what? No. Someone can call it pride, but I feel, I don't want to impose myself on you. I'm a lady. I'm supposed to be chased.
Yes.
I know better. You know, chase me. Men are natural hunters.
Yes.
I'm not supposed to be chasing after you. It could be pride, but at the same time, it's after acknowledging that I'm a lady. So one day I'm like, okay, let me listen to the song. Just where he's at, you know. I didn't even want to look at interviews that on TV, like, yo, that's why pictures and wow, really?
Really?
After everything. Okay, sharp.
What a ring? Meaning a wedding ring.
He's married.
Sure.
So one day, let me just listen. So well, I was like, yeah, married. A changed man. Okay. Fine. He had made me believe that I'm the only one. But in Venezuela, you've got only 4 hours to see someone.
And then you
in a month. Sometimes I will see him even for 6 hours. Because it's an hour a day. If I'm going to 12, from 12 till 1. But then the next weekend, 12 to 1. There were times I would even say, please, can you give your family time to see you? I make a show because he sees me every weekend. Sometimes I come for 2 hours, which was not even allowed. But I have no privileges. So that way I'm thinking I'm the only girl coming. But I was so smart that he made me come the last hour. Before me, there were 2 other women that were coming. And he married the one. This is now his friends telling me. He married the one. Nana, the girl una mali, we una mali. So like, oh, okay, so what
you was not want to like. You cannot compete with everyone's money.
Mina all these years auntie rakerekeni. I didn't
fasting.
I didn't advance myself as far as my career was concerned. So there was no way I could compete with that woman. So anyway, long story short, I had to pick myself up. Immediately after hearing he's married, I lost my hair. I've got brush cuts, I've got short hair. This is just for today, you know.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. I've got short hair because stress. I tried different things to grow my hair back.
It's not growing.
It's not growing
anymore.
She's on permanent brush.
Permanent brush cut. Homeopath said to me, there's nothing wrong with you. It's stress. I was like, I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror because of the rejection. I would look at other girls on social media and be like, yeah, these are his type. I remember after everything we met, he asked to see me to apologize in person. told me long stories. And then I told him, I was like, so you dish me because I'm not a Barbie doll. I'm not a slave queen. And I will not make myself like that. I was the type, I would go to him even without makeup.
That's how comfortable you were with your skin.
Yes. I don't want to put up a front of something that I cannot maintain.
True.
You know? Can I be me?
Yeah.
I take you as my friend. Can I just... Because if ever we're going to advance in this, I'm going to wake up and you're going to see me for me. So this is me. So maybe to him it was like, I want to live in Popo. Oh, can I show her off to my friend? I don't know.
Yeah, but I would show you off. I love you in this cute color. I see this beautiful girl.
Like Tom Cruise.
I mean, like, I don't know what guys
Not
want.
his choice.
I don't know what guys
Because one of the things he even said was, when I said, I thought you forgot about me, he said, I couldn't forget about you. I never dated dark-skinned girls, but I dated you. So, you know, maybe it's preference. And preference, maybe it was my yellow bone. I don't know. So, yeah, I went into depression. I didn't want to come out of my room. My family knew about me and him because there were some events at the end of prison that I had gone with my family with, you know. Things that we were doing together, you know, that even contributed to Parolia Yen.
Sorry, how long was your dating period when you was in prison?
1.5 or 2 years. 1.5.
Can you imagine every week spending money to see someone? It's money.
They're taking away
Time
time
is
from
money.
you.
If we were to calculate if per hour you're rating 320.
Not even Mama Eggy, I had to go with money every time to buy him groceries because he didn't like prison food. So money I had saved up for those 13 years while working in church, I spent on him. Sometimes I want to buy stuff for myself, but no, I need to buy my guy food.
So you tell me, like when you're busy dating, do you have time maybe to, because I know they say they sneak people in the prison. Like what kept you, if he's in prison, you're not doing the deeds, what kept you like in this relationship? What was so special? Or were you sneaked? What was happening?
Okay,
off record. No, okay. I understand.
No, I can.
Okay.
I was never sneaked in, and remember, because of the rape, I'm not I'm a sexual person, but it's not something that I like. Even now, I've been single for a long time. It's not like I want to have that. I can wait, you know. And so, while visiting, people, they fondle, they kiss, I'm sitting here on one side of the bench, you sit on the other side of the bench. Things happen. So that was enough for me. Although there's other stuff off record.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
you, after you got married, you had to pick yourself together.
I had to pull myself up. I had to make myself believe I am beautiful. I had to see the good in me. I had to learn first to forgive myself for allowing myself to be played the way he had played me. I had to ask for forgiveness for the guys I had played, because I felt, you know what, Namina, there are guys who cried karma. I felt there are guys who cried because of what I did to them. I got my face shaved. Although mine was sad because it was to an extent public. I could have lied about why we're not together, but I couldn't. He's married.
He didn't choose you.
He didn't choose you. Oh, it was shameful. I had to learn to live through the shame. I had to stop making excuses for him. Because I couldn't get away, I was making excuses for him. Maybe really because I don't have money. She's got money. Oh, He made his choice.
So did you like find closure after, like you say he came and then wanted to apologize in person? So like, did you find closure when you were talking? Like, you know, Kore, you accept Kore, I'm not good for him. He chose.
honestly, talking to him wouldn't give me closure because he was mixed up. You are publicly married, but you are telling me something else.
No.
You know, so now I had to, on my own, come to a point of closure. I can just let my life pass me by, just thinking, okay, he loved me. But then, when it was time to show that he loves you, he didn't show that he loves you. If he was man enough, he would have told, Mom Eggy, I had showed this guy, even if you go and live in a matchbox, I will go to that matchbox with you. I'm not a materialistic girl. I'm not after man. If I'm dating you while in prison, that is proof enough to you that even if we go live in a shack,
We'll live together.
I see potential in you. And I know the potential I have in me. Together we'll build something.
You are the type. You are Ruth type. You're Ruth type. Where you go, I shall go.
Yes.
So how do you? I mean, a lot of women. I was asking this on my WhatsApp status one day, that how is it that for other people it's easy to leave a relationship and tomorrow they are in the next?
Yeah.
How do you love like that? I mean, she spoke about something. She loved somebody for 15 years. There was a period of 13 years where they didn't see. It's like, I've been there. I understand very well. I understand what she's saying, that you love somebody so genuine like that, not because of what they have, not because of what they can do for you, you know? So, I mean, like, how is it possible for other ladies to just walk out of a relationship and tomorrow you are in love with somebody else?
It goes with the personality. You know, it depends where you come from. Remember, in women, we emotional beings. If I tell my daughter each time, correct, you know, the virginity is something precious. You know, you cannot just lose it to anyone. And then your first man to break you, he must be your husband. You know, that's our wish. It's just unfortunate. And you're holding on to that first moment. You know, it's so precious. It's so it's so amazing that you cannot trade it for anything. Even you know you have you ambitious about the life that you're going to have together. But men are not there. They're just coming for a bee, like a honey, and then bafamba, you know. And then you'll never know until you wake up and say, there's nothing here. But others, they about attachment. It's about material. What is it that he's bringing to me? You know, and then we're not saying they're wrong. Maybe they're tired of being attached. You know, of being attached to us, like to men, or of being attached to things that it cannot work. You know. So it's something that a mentality. How do you view? You know, because now I'm teaching young girls not to be too attached, so that they cannot commit suicide, so that they cannot go through depression. Because if you're not attached, it means you love him. It doesn't matter.
On that point, with just to add on to what the question, Righteous, I know one lady. She said Diana, she was broken so much in the marriage, but was too scared to leave. Then she let the man do whatever he was doing, and she found healing in the marriage. So by the time she left, she was ready. By the time she left, she moved the following day, and she's soon to get married again. But then this time around,
some people they do that.
They
heal while
you're inside. But then also at the same time, it's like you want to love without any restriction. So if you are going to love Mara Ukamela, that fear, what if
something bad happens?
What good is it? Like even being yourself, for me personally, I feel like when you get in a relationship, there are healthy ways of loving a person. And that's the lesson I would rather learn than not saying don't give everything. When I walk past a shop, I see something, I feel like stock vanilla. I buy it for you without expecting anything in return. But then I also have limitations at the back of my heart, like this is the kind of love I want to receive back. And if I'm not receiving it, you cannot give it to me. Someone else will.
You know, like I had an interview last year, there's in a relationship, there's a stay behind and there's a walk away. Which is the walk away, it's someone who, like, really, you're going, you know. By stay behind, it's someone who still hope. You know, this one my husband calls me baby. If he still calls me baby, he's like, it's a false, like, alarm. It means you're still together. And then we find women today, like, fighting so much in their marriage, where they're scared to walk out, and they can you can see there is no marriage anymore. You know, there's someone, like, maybe even the husband has walked away long time. The woman, she still stays, she's behind. You know, and we're not saying it can be vice versa. You know, someone who's ready to go out of the relationship is always a walk away. You know, but the one who stays behind and thinking, well, things will get better, things will change, you make excuses for them. You know, like, you know, like, you even have these thoughts of killing. It means me now, and it's because you're still behind. You know? And if people, it's true what you're saying, Kore. You can divorce today and tomorrow get married. So, beautiful ladies, this comes to a conclusion of our event, which it was beautiful. Sure. Like, I just wish we can have a whole session, each one of you, and listen to the story. But good enough, unfortunately, they have their channels on YouTube. I'm going to share it with you while we're busy sharing this this event. In closing, what can you encourage women out there? Just like within 30 seconds, Butomi, what is your encouragement to women that are watching this?
If you want something bad enough, you need to go after it. It was not your fault what happened to you. It was not your it was not your fault, but healing is your responsibility. For women that are mothers, such as myself, for me, my husband, it was me he did not want, but he adores his son. So never use your children to fight your battles. If you're still fighting with the father of your children, fighting to restricting them from access, heal.
That's powerful.
That's
powerful. We're not single parents who are fighting, using kids to fight your own battles. Utomi has said it. And then, beautiful, gorgeous.
Thank you, Miss Queen, the Queen. Rejection means redirection. When somebody rejects you, do not give up. As a matter of fact, stand stronger and become a better person, because there's something great in store for you.
Amen.
Yes, I tell people about rejection and say I was rejected while I was still at school, and then she pepanashin kula. If you look I went now. The next one, and then you'll feel ugly because you've been rejected. But guess what? So soon bitana sis Agnes. So rejection is good. You know, like it redirects you to a better destination. And I thank God for this. Like, I think our viewers will like definitely get this message. You know, Queen, like a young queen.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mami Eggy, for having me. It's really an honor and a privilege for me. What I can say to young women is, don't stay stuck in a season of pain for the longest time. Even if you have to do it limping, get up and go after the life you dream of. Don't let your worth be determined by the next person.
True.
You are worthy on your own.
Powerful.
Wow, that is powerful, Nkateko. Like, I'm hosting amazing ladies. I hope we're still going to have like session like this. And then today we're drinking just a juice like to catch up, and then we're still gonna talk more about and knowing each other more. But thank you ladies for honoring my invitation in such a short notice so that we can celebrate this Women's Month. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.